Oh, hey, Dan.
Oh, hey, everybody.
What beach are you at?
Well, don't tell everybody I'm at the beach. I'm working from home today.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, see? Hey, everybody, and welcome to our Work From Everywhere, Votacall. With a lot of changes in Kyle and I wanted to have a little bit of fun here, I think, just with regards to, I'm supposed to have my sunglasses on. I messed up. Hang on. Hold on, let's do our intro over again. Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey.
All right. And yes, these are prescription because I can't see without them. So, with changes to the workforce over the last few years and with changes to Votacall as we keep enhancing things, we thought it would be a good time to talk about work from home again. I know a lot of people are familiar with work from home at this point with regards to, maybe you're working from home 1 day a week or 4 days a week, or, in the case of someone like myself or like Kyle, who's is up in Maine most of the time. He's working from home all the time. We thought it'd be good if we talked about all the different ways that you can work from home or all the tools that Votacall One Solution provides to allow you to work from home. So before we get started, though, let's do a little bit of the housekeeping stuff that we do. First of all, I'm Dan, and that's Kyle.
Hello.
Right, there we go. We have, I think, collectively been with Votacall somewhere in the vicinity of about 29 years. It's we're happy that you guys came here today, and we're happy that you came to join us. Let's talk a little bit about the tool that we use here to do this. It's a tool called Livestorm, and it offers some stuff for you guys down at the bottom. So a little housekeeping. First of all, there's an apps tab, and if you were to click that apps tab, it will show you links. It'll show you polls. There's a questions tab where you guys can type questions. Don't forget that the only two people who can see your questions are Kyle and myself. And we will try to answer them immediately. If the question is a little bit more than we can answer immediately, then we'll reach out to you after this is over. Keep in mind that Votacall is a 24/7, 365 support organization, and the Votacall One Solution comes with that support free of charge for whatever you need. It could be programming. It could just be questions about some of the things we talk about today. Maybe you want to do a training for your people on the Votacall Go web phone after you see Kyle present it to you. So any of those things that you see or that are of interest to you, please just reach out to us either during this or reach out to support@votacall.com. And if you don't know how to do that, you could click down in the links and you will see a link for our support team, right? So if I promoted that on stage now, there we go. There it is. So you can click there, and that's going to take you to Votacall support. You can click later, by the way, and that'll close for you guys. But there's also a link to previous webinars that Kyle and I have done. There is a link to our training library. There's a link to the portal. There's a link on specific webinars that we've done, like timeframes, which we're going to cover today, Teams integration, which we're going to cover today. Something about using the portal as an end user, personal call management, which ties into some of this stuff as well. So we try to put some links in there that might help you guys out. I will tell you before we jump into our slides here. So a little trivia for you guys. Kyle, where are you today, by the way?
Haven't really decided yet. Probably somewhere in Florida.
I don't know. That feels more tropical than Florida, unless maybe you're in the Keys. All right.
Yeah,
I'm on a very specific beach, this beach here. And if anybody recognizes the beach, I don't know if you've ever seen our handy dandy Votacall paddleball sets. Very good paddleball set. Our CEO is in love with paddleball, and he had some paddleball rackets made that are pretty special. So we have a set, 2 rackets, a bunch of pickleballs in there. But if anyone can tell me what beach this is, why it's famous, or at least famous to me, we'll go ahead and get you out a pickleball set. All right. So without further ado, we will start sharing our presentation here. Votacall One, mobility and work from home options. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Votacall Go web phone, the Votacall Go mobile app, Votacall Go Teams, different phone options that you have for working at home, and then some of the other features that the system has that will help you work from home, like VFax, which is virtual faxing, voicemail, and more. Right. We'll also talk a little bit about resources and training materials at the end. But first things first, let's talk about the Votacall Go Mobility Suite. And Kyle, I'll hand it over to you.
Sure thing. So one of those work from anywhere tools is the Votacall Go web phone, which simply allows you to make and take calls from your computer wherever you are. If you're at a hotel connected to Wi-Fi, you're on a cruise, you got your laptop with you, you're good to go. It's completely Mac and PC compatible, so you can make and take calls on any one of your devices.
Nice. Okay, after that, I'm going to jump into the Votacall Go mobile product. So again, like having your desk phone in your pocket, it is a native application available on Android and iOS. And we'll be taking a quick look at that just so that you can get familiar with it if you're not already using it, features and functionality wise. After that, I'm going to jump into Votacall Go Teams, and I'm going to show you our Teams integration. So if you didn't want to use the web phone that Kyle's going to show you and the mobile Votacall Go mobile that I'm showing you, and you're a Teams organization and you spend a lot of time in Teams, want to have that single pane of glass, how can you use Teams and Votacall calling through Teams to work from anywhere?
If you don't want to use any of those tools and you want to continue using a desk phone, we have Wi-Fi compatible desk phones that you can connect on your Wi-Fi at home or abroad. If you're at your summer camp, you're on top of a mountain somewhere with access to the internet. So we can also mirror your button programming. So if your phone in the office has buttons programmed such as speed dials, busy lamp fields, call parks, we can mirror that programming on your remote phone, and then you're good to go. So no VPN required. As long as you get internet access, you're all set. Same experience, different place.
Yeah, nice. We actually have quite a few people who do that. There's a great story that we have with a gentleman who works for a finance firm out of New York City, one of our clients, New York office, and Fort Lauderdale office, and an Aspen office. So there is a phone with a sidecar in New York, a phone with a sidecar in Fort Lauderdale, and a phone with a sidecar in Aspen. There's also a phone with a sidecar in the home office, and there's a phone and the sidecar in the vacation home, and then there's a phone with a sidecar in the Fort Lauderdale office as well. And I lost track there, but I do believe that that's about 7 phones. And so again, one user, which is really nice, right? So from that perspective. So if you are working from home a lot, or you just want to have that experience across all of your locations where you might work, same experience everywhere. And that's something that Votacall can do.
Yeah, some additional tools and features maybe folks may not think of when working out and about or from anywhere. Faxing. So you have the capability to send and receive faxes from the Votacall portal. You'll have access to your voicemail through the portal, mobile app, and web phone. And you can also manage your personal time frames. You can create rules for after hours. So after hours calls can go straight to voicemail and so forth. So you can build time frames around your schedule and control them from the mobile app, web phone, or portal. So
cool. And we had a question come in. Actually, before you jump in there, Kyle, we had a question come in just with regards to did we say Wi-Fi phones? And yes, we did, which is obviously makes working from home a lot more simple. I can recall days of having to run Cat5 up the side of somebody's house from wherever their cable modem was to wherever they wanted to work, where their office is. All of these tools that we're talking about today, whether we talk about having a Wi-Fi capable phone, or whether we're talking about using your mobile or using Teams or using the web phone, all of those things obviously will connect up to your Wi-Fi at this point. So you really can work from any room in the house. Or in the case of Kyle and I right now, you can work from the beach.
Nice. All right, so we're going to show you the web phone. So maybe you're at a hotel, you're on vacation, or you're working from home, you forgot your laptop at work, you don't bring it home with you. Work calls you up and says, hey, we're getting slammed with calls. Are you able to help out and take some calls for us? So you say, sure, I got some time. So maybe go grab your kid's laptop and you got to take some calls. So you're going to log into the myvotacall.com portal. You come right up to the apps drop down and you click on Votacall Go web phone. Now you're up and running. You can make and take calls. So you'll see here, I'm actually logged in as a call center agent. So if I'm taking calls as a call center, I can log into either one of the queues. I can control my status here. I can go offline. I can end shift, set my status to lunch, break, other. In this case, say we're doing a webinar. So I go to webinar and now I'm logged out of those queues. But if I want to log back into one of them to help take some calls, I can log into one of those queues to help pitch in and help, the business take calls. You'll have access to the dial pad here. So let me show you what it's like to make a call on here. So I'm going to call my desk phone. Put it on mute so I don't get that feedback. So that's very simple how to make a call. So all I did was open up the dial pad, dial my phone number, and here it is. I'm on an active phone call. I can put the call on hold. I can add a call for a conference call. I can transfer the call to another coworker or an off-network phone number. I can put the call on park. I can even switch the phone. So say if I'm logged into my mobile app, I can click switch phone, select my mobile app, and move that call to my mobile app as well. Same for the desk phone and vice versa. And I can also start recording the call if I have call recording enabled. Let me show you what it's like to park a call real quick. So by default, everybody will have park spots program. So I can click park call, select one of these empty park calls.
Domain Votacall.one music on hold. This is the
and now
music on
anybody
hold.
can pick up that call from that park spot. So you see here on the web phone, I have call parks here. I click on that. I can click that phone to simply pick it up. What it does a call back. So it's going to call me first. I click answer, and now I'm simply connected. So using the web phone gives you all the same capabilities your desk phone can. You can place calls on hold, put calls on park, check your voicemails, which your voicemails would be, before we go to that, this little pop-up here for call center agents, you'll have the capability to put disposition codes in there. So for example, if this was existing customer that called me, I can select that and put in a note. Dan called for info on app. And there we go. Now I noted that call, and my call center supervisor can see those disposition codes, can see my notes. Over here on the left, you'll see we have all the contacts here. You can manage the contacts right from the web phone. You have access to all your call history, your voicemails. Here's your visual voicemail. You can play, listen, delete, forward, and so forth. You also have the capability to message each other. So for example, I was connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, I'm working, I took some calls, and then maybe I'm going to step away. I can send error message, say, hey, I'm going to step away. Can you cover me? So real easy to send messages internally. And if you have text messaging enabled, you can also use this for text messaging. That's a different story there. We'll cover that on a different webinar. You have access to your answering rules. So you might have some answering rules built in your profile. So you might have do not disturb or forward. You might have an after hours schedule. But the ones that are called always are ones that you can manually control. So say if I was stepping away and wanted calls to go straight to my voicemail, I can drag DND right above default, and you'll see the blue bubble followed it. So now any calls directly to my extension or phone number will go straight to voicemail. And I can simply drag that right beneath default, and now I'm back active again, ready to receive some phone calls. You can also manage your voicemail greetings from here. So if you have multiple voicemail greetings enabled, you can select which one you want folks to hear. Now, if you also have the capability, so if you're using Google Chrome, you can download a Google Chrome extension for the web phone, which if you have the extension downloaded, you do not need to log into the portal to open the web phone. So right up here in the upper right corner, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to select install. And there we go. Automatically opened up the extension. You can see the extensions right down here on my taskbar. To make life easier, I'm going to right click on there and pin the taskbar. So therefore, the web phone is always there. And if I just want to make and take calls, all I have to do is click that extension, and I do not have to log into the portal. You can also set the extension to automatically open upon startup as well. Anything else you wanted to add on the web phone, Dan?
No, well, so we just had a question come in that just said, is there any way of determining if staff have accessed Votacall remotely? And I'm hoping I'm understanding this question correctly. There would be a way to tell if you look at call status for an individual, you can tell if they've made the call from the web phone, from the mobile. from a Teams environment or from their desk phone in the office. So there is a way to determine which of the devices it was that made the actual phone call. So I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, just let us know. And what we can do is just reach out and see. Our team does have access to the back end to see who's ever logged into the portal, if that's what the question meant. And we could check that for you. That would just simply be a ticket. But Mary Jane, we'll reach out to you after this is over and determine that. Now, folks, as Kyle said, he started with kind of one scenario. All of a sudden, you're working from home. You left your work laptop at the office. You grabbed one of your kids' laptops. You logged in. So the idea here is that you can work from anywhere. Now, if you're somebody who travels a lot and you have an office laptop and you're in hotel rooms all the time, the Votacall, downloading that and having it just as an icon on your desktop, like Kyle just showed you that last icon there, really helpful for somebody to be able to just click on that whenever they're in the hotel room, connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, pop it up and work. Okay, so again, very, very easy to do. Then you have the mobile device, obviously, which lo and behold, we're going to talk about right now. So give me 1 second while I start to share my screen. And obviously that is another way to work. And that is from the mobile device itself. Okay, so here we are, and I am in the mobile, and this is my actual mobile. Quick disclaimer, anything that were to pop up right now, I do apologize. I logged out of all my apps, and hopefully everyone I know who's an acquaintance behaves now. So, but if there's any notifications that pop up, I do apologize. So here we are. I'm in the call center tab of the mobile app itself. And as I go across the bottom here, you've got your call center tab. We'll talk about them in a minute. You got your contacts, you've got your voicemail, you've got your chat and SMS. So there's those same chats that Kyle was just showing you in the web phone. This is the same user, by the way. This is our web phone user. You've got your call history. So 5 minutes ago, you saw Kyle make a phone call out to that phone number that's right at the top. And then he put that call on Park. And then the blue arrow is the call coming back in from Park and Kyle answering that call. Right, so there's those calls that he made just a minute ago on the web phone, and then here's the webinar user where you've got those same answering rules, greetings, etc. So let's just start with answering rules, and we'll go ahead here. All right, so Kyle turned on Do Not Disturb before, and then he went to default. But let's just say you are using the mobile client here, and you get to somewhere where you have terrible Wi-Fi. Right, you have cell phone reception, but hopefully you're somewhere really remote and amazing. And even though you're trying to enjoy the views, you are expecting an important phone call. So what you could do is just turn on forwarding and just slide that to the top the same way that we did before in the other. See the blue dot move. Now I have calls forwarded the good old fashioned way, right? They're just going to come in on my cell phone. They don't ring to the app, etc. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and just slide that back down again, and you're going to see it goes back to default. Now the other ones and we did a whole webinar, by the way, on personal timeframes and how to use them and how to set them up. If you need any help, support is always there for you guys. But the one called After Hours, I think, is pretty important. It's going to be more important when I show you Teams in a minute, and I'll tell you why. But the After Hours one is set for days of the week, right? So if I clicked on it, you can see the days of the week that it's set for. And it's forwarding my calls to 901, which is my voicemail. And it is set to bring outside of office hours, essentially forward my calls to voicemail. And again, I'll talk about that one in just a couple minutes when I talk about Teams, and you'll see why. So here we go. So there's your answering rules. I'm going to talk about greetings quickly. Now, let's just say I am on the beach right now, and I forgot to set my message. And you know what? I'm going to shut it down because it's West Coast time. I gave a little hint. It's West Coast time, and I'm going to be, checking out a few hours earlier than everybody else, to get my day started. Take the kids down to the beach, okay, and run them through some trivia too. But if I wanted to create a new greeting, I could just click here. I could hit tap to record. I could title it Vacation. Okay, it's not vacation, it's vacation. I'm not going to do this now because I can't type. And I'm going to hit record, and I can make that greeting active, right? Okay, so let's get out of this part, and we're going to we talked about call history. Here's my chat and SMS. If I wanted to ping Aramis, I could just click here and ping him. If I wanted to send a new message to somebody, I just hit that little icon, search for the phone number or the individual that I'm looking for. I've got my voicemails here with the text transcription. I can forward those, listen to them. Again, so everything I can do in the office by picking up the phone, hitting the voicemail button, hit the voicemail button here. I've got those same messages. I can see all that stuff. My contacts. And then last but not least, obviously my dial pad. And if I were to call Kyle, you 13 or 03? You're 03.
03.
All right. And Kyle did not take my call. So
I don't think you dialed the right number.
I would get that same screen that Kyle showed, which was the screen that gave me all of my hold and my all the same functionality. So last but not least, I'm in my call center tab. This is if you're an agent. If you're not an agent, you're wondering to yourself, why don't I see this right now? It's because you're not an agent. And so you can't log in and out of call queues. Essentially, when we make you an agent in the system, you can log into a call queue, log out of a call queue with no problem. And then, so that's obviously up to your admin to give you that functionality. There is no additional charge, by the way, for call center functionality, supervisor functionality, Votacall One solution. Everybody has everything. It's just a question of what we turn on for you guys. And to Mary Jane, your question, if you want to have someone to have no portal access, there is a one called no portal, and we could assign that to somebody so they would never be able to log into these things. So if I wanted to log into customer service one, I could just log in up here, and now I'm online in customer service one. If I wanted to log out of customer service two, I could click there and log out. If I wanted to put myself on a demo or a webinar and just log out of all my queues, I could just click there, and I just did that. Okay. So now what we're going to do, so we've looked at the Votacall Go suite, which is the Votacall Go suite of web phone and mobile. And since I'm on my mobile phone now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to Teams. Now, Teams isn't, this is more of, you would never really use both unless it was like a situation where Teams wasn't working and you wanted to use our stuff in its place. So typically you would have one or the other. But what I'm going to say now is, okay, let's say you're a Teams organization and you have Votacall and you wanted to integrate with it, we could do that. And so what we would do is we come over here. I'm going to find my Teams. There it is. I'm going to click in. All right, I'm in Teams. I'm going to go from chat to my calls, and there I am. So I'm in my calls tab now. And what I want to do is down in the bottom right-hand corner, if you don't have calling turned on through Teams, you wouldn't see this. But if I click the little purple icon, I get a dial pad. Okay. So you can see there's my phone number. It's down at the bottom, 781-693-0606. Feel free to give me a buzz anytime you want to chat. Happy to have conversations. As I say to people a lot, this company pays me to talk to people, and so feel free. So we've also, if I wanted to make a phone call from here, I could, and then I would have my Teams call control. I could transfer the calls, etc. I have all the other Teams pieces built into this as well. But really what I'm doing is using Teams as a soft phone. Now, if I had a call on my desk phone, there's a code I could dial right here. It would be *22 and hit go, and it would pull the call from my desk phone to my Teams mobile, and I could get up and walk away. Okay, but the idea here is that I'm on the road, I'm traveling, I'm working remote, and I want to make phone calls. Good news is, again, with web phone and with Votacall Go mobile and with Teams, you make an outside phone call, it shows up as your work number. All right. So whatever number pops up when you dial someone from your desk, that's the same number that comes up on these devices. Okay. So that's a quick look at Teams. We have a whole webinar on Teams integration if you guys ever want to go watch it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you that same dial pad inside of Teams desktop. So just give me 1 second. And here I am now. We are in the desktop. Okay, and so I've got a few different phone calls here that came in earlier from Phil and another one from a client. Excuse me. You can see there's my same phone number, and then here's my dial pad. Okay, so if I wanted to make a phone call to somebody, etc., I can do that all from here. Now we also have an application that can run for SMS inside of Teams. So if I wanted to, I could click on that. Hang on, there it is, and that's going to pull up a little chat window where I have some SMSs that I've done with a couple clients. Okay, as we set this up, and then here's one with me. Hey Dan, hey, a little emoji, cool stuff. Hello, all the fun things that you say to yourself when you're trying to show how this stuff works. But this is so Teams. You've got access to SMS and you've got access to your phone. Right, so make and receive phone calls on Teams. Again, we did a full webinar on this, so we won't spend too much time on it today. But we did want to show it to you guys so that you feel, you know that it's there. All right. So now we said we were going to talk about the web phone. We said we were going to talk about Go Mobile. We said we were going to talk about Teams. And then the next thing, if I wasn't mistaken, that we were going to talk about is right here, right?
Additional tools.
No, home phones.
Oh, home phones.
All right. So we drilled in pretty hard on this when we were talking about it just a few minutes ago. So we said, okay, you've got a home phone. You want it to be a mirror of your office phone. You could, by the way, take your office phone off your desk and take it home. You would need a power supply for it. And so if you know that you're going to be out for a little while, like let's say you have, surgery on your knee coming up. I hope that isn't happening to anybody. I hope you don't need surgery on your knee. But if you did need surgery on your knee and you weren't going to be able to drive to the office anymore, you could reach out to Votacall and say, hey, can I get a power supply for my phone? Sure. Take your phone home, assuming it's one of our Wi-Fi capable phones, connect it to your home internet, and then you could work. Now, I apologize for that if you were trying to play hooky while you had your knee done, but we can make it so that you can work from home all the time. Now, you could always just use your laptop. You could use your mobile, etc. But if it would be easier for you to have somewhere in your house where you had a phone set up, you could do that. By the way, I just realized I forgot to talk about timeframes and Teams. And I said that I was going to do that for you guys, so I'll bring it up. We use Teams here as an organization, and I actually use Votacall's Teams integration more than I use any of the other devices, right? So I use the mobile client for Teams as my phone. I use the desktop client for Teams as my phone. But we talk a lot internally on Teams, meetings, internal conversations, texting, IM, messages, etc., is all done through Teams. Now, one of the timeframes I have built, and I showed it to you guys, starting at 6 o'clock every day and running all the way until 7:30 the next morning, sends calls to voicemail. Now, the reason that I have that set up is really important for me is because if Kyle needed to reach out to me at 7 o'clock at night, he would do that through Teams. So what I don't want to do is log out of Teams. I want to leave Teams up and running, but I don't want phone calls coming through while I'm like with the family or coaching a baseball game or sitting at this beach. So if it's nighttime, because remember, I'm on the West Coast, so at 6 o'clock East Coast time, right, you'd get to voicemail, but it would still be 3 o'clock in the afternoon here at this place. Nobody has told me where I am, though. It's a real bummer. But so that's the kind of thing that you can do with timeframes. And I think that, again, we did a full webinar on those and how you do it, but that's the application. So with that said, I guess, Kyle, that one covers personal timeframes. I'll hand it over to you for VFAX and for visual voicemail.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm going to share the portal one more time with you folks. So here we are. So you're going to have a messages tab on any of your voicemails would be here. Unless you have voicemail to email only, the voicemails would only appear in your email. But otherwise, you will be able to manage your voicemails right from here, just like we saw in the mobile app and web phone. Then we have the fax tab. So you can send faxes right from the myvotacall.com portal. If you don't have your own personal fax number, we can provide you one for free, no additional charge. You would get a brand new number. We would set it up for you to fax. You would have all your inbound faxes here. You can download them and view them. And if you wanted to send a fax, you're going to click the send fax button over here, browse and attach a document, put in the 10-digit phone number you're going to send a fax to, and alternatively, you can also add a cover letter, fill in the applicable fields, and click send. It's that easy to send a fax in the portal. Inbound faxes would go to your email with a PDF attachment, and they'd also be stored in the portal under this the sent folder. We don't need to go into time frame since Dan covered that, but that is the simplicity of sending a fax and looking at voicemails within the portal.
Okay, terrific. Now, one of the other features, and I'd be, not really doing my job if I didn't tell you about this other feature that will notify you if you miss a phone call. So let's say you're working, you're on vacation, you're expecting a really important phone call. You can go to settings right here. And this one's for you, Andy. You guys don't all know who Andy is, but this is his favorite feature. But what you could do is you could just say, okay, if I miss a phone call, I can go ahead and I can send an email after a missed call. So I get that email. And while I'm sitting here on this wonderful beach, I could say, oh, that's that person I've been waiting to talk to. And so I can open up my mobile client, Votacall, Go Mobile, call them. They see my caller ID. They see it's me calling back in. Hopefully they're none the wiser that I'm sitting on the beach and we can get all the stuff done that we're trying to get done. So that's another way to use a feature to work remotely so that even if you miss a phone call, you can still call somebody back. Okay. Sorry, somebody just threw an answer here in the chat. And guys, anyone else here before I might have multiple paddle sets before I give away a set of paddles here. I'll give you guys another minute or so to answer, but Paul, you did get that right. That's good. All right, so let's just keep going here. Any questions from anybody? And again, if anybody wants to spend any time with us, just email support. Just reach out to us after this. You can email our solutions team at any time, our support team at any time. You can watch webinars. This webinar will be up on the Votacall.com webinar page fairly soon. It takes a little while to download and then to convert and then to do all the fun stuff that you need to do, but we'll go ahead and get it up there for you. You can always reach us, our one training page right there. So there's some links for you guys. Kyle, anything else from your side?
No. Just remember, you got the web phone, mobile app, Teams integration. You're ready to work from anywhere.
Yeah, even the beach featured in Goonies.
The Goonies. Right. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys. Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We thank you guys for coming. As always, we just try to do, I hope you like the costumes. We try to keep this fun and just remind you guys that you have all these features at your fingertips to use whenever you want. We are not a big marketing engine, so we like these webinars and we like to talk, get in front of our customers and let you guys do the talking about who Votacall is. So again, from everybody here at Votacall, from Kyle, from myself, and from the whole team, thank you very much. Enjoy your month.
Have a great summer. Enjoy working from anywhere.
All right. I love it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.